dear friends, we continue with our chapter number 6, importance of ocean. As you can see in this picture, these are the different food items that you eat in the course of the day. Diet is the food that you eat in the course of the day. So, what items are included in a food? Rice, wheat preparation, idlis, theplas, meat, egg, fish, fruits, pulses, vegetable, etc. are included in our diet. Now the next question. Which item amongst those shown come under non-vegetarian food? Items like meat, egg, fish come under the non-vegetarian food. Which of these are prepared from aquatic creatures? Aquatic means living in water. So, preparation made of fish are included in the food item prepared from aquatic creatures. The next one. Fish is the main food. It should be food for many people. Many people include fish in their daily diet. We get fish from rivers, lakes and seas. But the proportion of the fish is more in seas and ocean as compared to the rivers and lakes. That means in rivers and lakes and ponds, fishes are found. But the number of fishes, the amount of fishes found in seas and ocean is much greater than compared to rivers and lakes. So, catching fish and marine animal is activity that is carried out worldwide. In fact, it is one of the ancient occupation. Right from the Stone Age time, man has been doing the activity of fishing. Man has been carrying out the fishing activity. Now, fishing is done mainly for the purpose of food. But fishes are also caught for fertilizers, pharmaceuticals and research. Fishes are dried, it is powdered, and that powdered fish is used as fertilizer. Fishes are used for making medicine, that is in the pharmaceutical industry. Sorry. And it is used in the research purpose. So these are the uses of fish. They are used as food, for making fertilizer, for making medicines and in the research work. Here are some of the fishes that are consumed in India. So the fishes consumed in India are prawns, that is columbi, clams which are called as tisre, crab, you have shear fish, that is surmai, and you have mackerel, that is bagda, pomfret means paplet, Indian shark, that is mori, and Indian salmon, that is rawas. These are some of the fishes that are commonly consumed in India. Worldwide, many other marine animals are consumed in different parts of the world. Many other marine animals, we have seen some of the fishes that are commonly consumed in India. In different parts of the world, many other types of marine animals are consumed. Now, many other marine animals are consumed in different parts of the world. Life of the people living on the seashore depends on the sea. Countries having large coastline, and if they have very less occupation, majority of the occupations are related to fishing. For example, fishing, making boats, making nets, etc. Now, countries like Seychelles, Mauritius and Maldives are some of the countries which are island countries in the Indian Ocean, having large coastline and no other occupation, very few occupation. Basically, their main occupation here is fishing. Now we come to an activity. Ocean and the climate. After studying this activity, after completing this activity, you will come to know what is the relation of ocean and the climate of the coastal area. Now, first column shows certain cities. The second one shows the country to which it belongs. The third column shows the mean maximum temperature, and the fourth one shows the mean minimum temperature. The last column is left empty. Students, you have to fill the last column. We will see how to fill the last column. Let us take the example of the first one. Beijing is the name of the city which is in country China. Mean maximum temperature here is 18.4 degrees Celsius and mean minimum temperature here is 8.4 degrees Celsius. In the last column, that is in the range of temperature, you have to write the difference between the two. That is, you have to subtract minimum temperature from the maximum temperature, and whatever the answer is, you have to write it in the range of temperature column. 18.4 minus 8.4 is 10. So, you will be writing 10 in the range of temperature column. Let us see one more example. Istanbul, which is in country Turkey. Maximum temperature is 18, minimum is 10. So 18 minus 10 is 8. So you will write down 8 in the next column. In this way you have to fill the last column. Your table will now look something like this. You have to do the following activity. After completing this table, you will be doing the following activity. All these places belongs to the or are located between 30 degrees to 40 degrees north parallel latitudes. So all these belong to the temperate zone. Now you have to highlight the rows of the places having range of temperature over 10 with red color. So 10 and above 10, all the places you will be coloring it with red, and the other remaining you will be coloring with blue color. So the first one, third one, fourth and first, third, fifth and the last you will be coloring with red. The others having temperature less than 10 you will be coloring with blue. Let us answer the questions. We have finished first two activity, which we have already answered the first two questions. Let us see the third one. Which places are closer to the ocean? Tell whether the range of temperature at these places is less or more. The places which are close to the ocean. See, you have to locate for all these places on the atlas or on the world map. Try to find where these places are located on the world map. And then you will be able to tell whether the place belongs to or is close to the ocean, is a coastal city or not. So you have to answer which of the following are closer to the ocean. Istanbul and New York are closer to the ocean, and if you see the temperature there, range of temperature in Istanbul is also 8 and that in New York is also 8. Both these are coastal cities. So what can you infer from this? Being close to the seas and ocean, the range of temperature difference here is less. Difference between mean maximum and mean minimum temperature, the difference is less. What might be the reason leading to the difference in the temperature range of different places? Next question is, what might be the reason leading to the difference in the temperature range of different places? The answer is nearness to the sea or being away from the sea determines the difference in the temperature. If a place is near to the water body, the range of temperature, the difference will be less. Being in the interior or away from the ocean, away from the water body, the range of temperature will be more. Next question, in which thermal zone are all these places located? I have already answered this. All these places are located in the temperate thermal zone, because all these places are in the lies between 30 degrees and 40 degrees north parallel latitude. So all of them belong to temperate zone. Which places are far away from the ocean? Do these places have a greater or a smaller temperature range? All the other places then, other than Istanbul and New York, are away from the ocean, away from the water body, and the temperature difference here is greater. Mention the places having the smallest and the greatest temperature range. So refer to the previous one. Greatest temperature range is in Baghdad, that is in Iraq. Baghdad is in Iraq. The greatest range of temperature is 15.7, and the smallest is in Istanbul and New York. Now the explanation. So by this time you must have realized that difference in the maximum and minimum temperature is less in the coastal areas, while it is more in the region away from the sea. Such areas is called as continentality. Okay, being closer, being in proximity of the water body, and being away from the ocean, away from the water body. So if you are closer, if the city is closer to the ocean, is a coastal place, the range of temperature will be, or the difference in maximum minimum temperature will be less. But if it is if it is in the interior, if it is in the inside the continent, away from the ocean, the difference will be more. There is not much difference in the temperature throughout the day in areas near the ocean, seas and large reservoirs. That means the day temperature and night temperature, there will be very less difference. If the day temperature is 20, the night temperature might be 18 or 17. So difference is just of 2 or 3 degrees. So being close to the water body, the difference is less. Now why is this difference less? Or if there is a give reason, the temperature in the coastal region remains equable throughout the day. The answer to this question is in the last 3 points. This is due to the presence of water vapor. Now water is continuously evaporating from this water body. Be it sea, ocean or reservoir, water is being continuously evaporated. Evaporated water becomes water vapor, and there is water vapor in the air. We have already studied about humidity. Presence of water vapor in the air is called as humidity. So the air near these coastal places will be humid, will be having water vapor, and water vapor absorbs and stores the heat that is released from the land. Land which has got heated in the summer season or maybe in the daytime, the heat which is released by the land is absorbed and stored by the water vapor. So the temperature remains equable. You have studied that the equatorial region receives almost perpendicular rays of the sun, and you know that perpendicular rays of the sun gives you more heat. So equatorial region will be having high temperature, but the polar region receives very slanting rays or extremely slanting sun rays, and slanting sun rays gives you less heat. So in certain places you have more heat, in certain other places you have less heat. That means there is high temperature in certain places, that is in equatorial region, and low temperature in the polar region. This creates imbalance in the temperature of air in the different parts. So certain places have high temperature and certain places have low temperature. This creates imbalance in the temperature of the air, and we know that moving air is called as wind. So because of difference in the temperature, different pressure belts are formed on the earth. Area having high temperature, the pressure in that area will become low. Those areas will become low pressure belt. Now why does high temperature have low pressure? When the air becomes warm, when the air becomes hot, it will expand. Things on becoming hot expand. It rises, it becomes lighter, air rises up. So low pressure is created there. On the other hand, when the temperature is less, air also becomes cool. Cool air contracts. It becomes heavier and a high pressure belt is created in that area. Okay, so winds move from high pressure belt to the low pressure belt. So this winds which are moving throughout the year in a particular, from a particular belt to the other, are known as planetary winds. And because of this planetary winds, currents are set in the ocean water. If we take a trot and if we blow over the water in the trot, you will see the ripples being formed in the water. In the same way, because of the planetary winds, currents are set in the ocean water. Now currents can be warm or they can be cold currents. We have seen in chapter number 5 the ocean currents, world ocean currents. Warm currents are shown with red color or pink color, and blue color, light blue color shows the cold currents. You can see from this map that the warm current moves from warmer area to the cold area. That is, they move from equatorial area towards the polar area. And the cold current from the polar areas move towards the warmer equatorial region. As these currents are moving from warm to cold and cold to warm area, they will be bringing about they will be making the temperatures of the region to where they are moving milder. For example, when the currents are moving from warm area to the cold area, they will be increasing the temperature of the cold area. But if the polar currents, that is cold currents, are moving towards a warm area, they will be bringing the temperature down in the cold, in the hot equatorial region. So this leads to redistribution of heat on the earth. Cold area becomes warm somewhat and warmer area becomes cold somewhat. So there is redistribution of heat on the earth because of the ocean currents. Water cycle. Now we have seen that ocean acts as the controller of the global temperature in two ways. What were these two ways? Let us see once again. We have just talked about currents, warm and cold. Warm current moves towards the colder area, increasing the temperature there. Cold current moves towards a warmer area, lowering the temperature there. So it is bringing about control of the global temperature. Also, because of the water vapor which holds and absorbs and stores the heat, again it is equalizing, it is making the climate of the coastal area equable. So in these two ways, ocean current controls the global temperature. Ocean water is very vast. It is huge amount of water is there in the ocean. So when this water evaporates, large amount of water vapor will be formed, and we know that we get rainfall from the water vapor. So oceans are the source of rainfall. If there would have been no oceans, there would have been no rainfall on this earth. So it is because of the ocean that we get rainfall. When it rains, the streams and the rivers starts flowing, and finally the streams, rivers meet the ocean. They go back and join the ocean. Once again the cycle begins. Water of the ocean evaporates, becomes vapor. Rain comes from the clouds rivers and streams are set, so the cycle continues. So we say that ocean is the beginning and end of the water cycle. We stop here, students. Thank you.